Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. So, I did a thing. Ordinarily I would not do this, but since this whole exercise has a bit of a speculative fiction feel to it anyway, I decided to see what would happen if also our smart boys had time travel. The election was such a big deal, and if you're paying attention you may have already noticed up here, the scientists are in control of the government all of a sudden. The election was such a big deal and it was so close that I decided to use my autosaves to go back in time 5 turns and see if I could bend the course of history just a little bit to get the scientists in charge of the government. I went in and changed all of our planets to the appropriate specialization because doing that has, as you can see there in the bottom left, scientific political impact. And I researched a couple of technologies that we had skipped over that also have scientific political impact, and I was able to change the course. I was able to change the vote just enough that the scientists and the ecologists got the same vote share, exactly the same number of votes in the election, and for some reason that allowed the scientists to become the dominant party in the government. I'm not really sure why they won the tie, but whatever happened, here we are now, the Oracle of Science. We can research tech from the next stage, and minus 10% cost on our techs means that after we finish Ultra Deep Habitats, which we're almost done with, I see no reason not to finish it, and it gives us the maximum omniscience boost, we are straight on to Genius of the Endless. Now, I know you could maybe say that this somewhat invalidates the result, but come on, it's a custom faction game. The result was already invalid. So, out of curiosity, is this even adding a turn? No, it's not. Okay. That's just a free tech. Also, while I was doing this, check this out, mouse over this, plus 1019 from Omniscience. It absolutely is the case that Omniscience just increases your science output. It does not apply as a cost reduction on the tech. I do not remember where I heard that thing, and the fact that I can't remember where I heard it means that maybe I didn't hear it from anywhere at all, right? It's possible that I just completely made that up. But this is pretty settled. The thing I said in the last episode is definitely not the case. The Omniscience bonus does just apply as a percentage bonus to your Empire science output. That does make me kind of wonder, like, maybe this is not actually a problem, maybe this is not a viable solution, but like if you were in a position where you had a high Omniscience bonus, you had a 50%, but a lot of the texts you wanted to research were simultaneously available and had lower than 50% bonuses attached to them, would it be smart to just, like, if, let's say each of these costs 4 turns, would it be smart to just do 3 turns on this one, then switch so you don't finish this and your bonus doesn't change, then do 3 turns on this one, then do 3 turns on this one, then complete them sequentially? I don't know, maybe, like, it's probably not an issue, it's probably not a problem if that's the way it works, but it does seem strange. So anyway, here we are. Yeah, we're working on the thing. We're about to have Ultra Deep Habitats. So I think I'm going to leave this ship right where it is, because we're potentially about to be able to find more curiosities. And yeah, that's it. Let's go. Now we do still have to figure out a way of dealing with this pirate base. Also, the fact that we no longer have the ecologists in power means that there are planets in our systems that we cannot settle. It's a smallish problem. I think it's one of these systems was working on settling a planet that they now cannot. Isn't that right? Ah, yes. Here in Ash 1 was partially settled and can no longer be settled. We'll fix it. Don't worry. We'll get under control. But nothing is more important than Genius of the Endless. Absolutely nothing. Okay, obviously we still have lots of good science buildings to pick up, and we have uncovered some new curiosities here. Okay, a couple of instances of Giga Lattice. It's not a bad not a bad luxury, and we can colonize almost every planet in the system. We should probably get a colony ship down here. Where are we at on overcolonization? Oh, we're fine. We're extremely fine. Okay, also, did we pick up any new curiosities anywhere else? Go ahead and do that. Okay, looks like not very much. Fair enough. Alright, so who wants to build me a colony ship? You probably do. Okay, things are going alright. I didn't upgrade our colony ship design, but I'm not 100% sure that I want to. Okay, some extra production for the capital might get a turn off of... Yeah, looks like it took one turn off of the Intergalactic Technology Center. I couldn't remember. I remember the acronym's ITER, but what the heck is the E for? It turns out it's one of the E's in center. Seems strange. Yeah, so colony ship coming out. We could redesign the beautifier a little bit, and I might have done this in the previous video, because it totally has an extra support slot. Is that... Okay, that doesn't change anything. We're still getting that done in the same amount of time. I feel like I may have made that change. You know, this is what happens when you mess with the timeline. Anyway, we're all doing important things. Food and science, food and science. So I feel like one of the things that this little episode has proven, and I guess I don't know this was terribly valuable for me to find out, but is that I definitely have a much better value of, a much better idea of how to manage system growth than I once did. The fact that we're at this population level at this point in the game, compared to, say, the population growth in some of the earlier episodes of this series. Alright, so we're really pounding out the science stuff. Keep Ash clear of enemy ships. There is a pirate ship running around over here. We might not be successful at this. But also, I mean, 80 influence would be useful, but it's not critical. So that pirate ship was spawned by the Curiosity on Ingress 4. Weird. How did that even occur? That's a planet that we colonized. How did a pirate... whatever. Whatever, man. It'll be fine. Increased prices for antimatter, huh? How increased? That's all right. I guess we should try to be rushing these, right? The earlier we can get these, the better they are. All right, yeah, let's sell off our antimatter. I know I'm gonna want it eventually, but the thing we most want antimatter for is the F-Reality Institute, which is something that we don't really even have to think about until after Genius of the Endless is done. So, I guess for now we can just sell it all. And actually, could I sell enough other stuff? Let's see here. Because it would be nice to rush that building. That should get us clear, right? Yeah, there we go. I'm always a little nervous about going exactly to the cost listed because there's some rounding stuff that happens in the game. The fact that that said 6.5 could mean that the actual value is anywhere between 64.50 and 65.50, I believe. So, 6.5 is not necessarily 6.5, is what I'm saying. Alright, where do we want to put down? Obviously, a place that has anomalies is preferable. I mean, probably this is the right spot. 3864 is pretty good. And we have a good strategic and a luxury that we're actually using for stuff. Yeah, this is definitely the call. Not great in terms of normal food output, but the first food ship to arrive will be a big deal. And is food from... Yeah, food here is also coming from Ingress, because Ingress is full pop or close, right? Yeah, full pop. Full pop, and even with all of that food going out, still not starving. We may have overdone it on food, very slightly. As a real possibility. Alright, so we should see a pretty marked increase in our research rate over the next 5 turns or so, which means this is going to take probably considerably fewer than 15 turns. Okay, this ended, so free technology for us. You may have noticed that actually the number of turns remaining on this is fluctuating somewhat. What did I just get? Now, we had this already. I had that. Here's the problem. I don't remember which things I had researched in which version of this timeline. Well, whatever. We got a free thing. I trust it. I believe that that's real. Sadly, the one thing we cannot purchase is influence. So we're going to have to chill out on that law for a minute. I can't run the Dirty Hands Act either. Wow, these are population of our empire has dramatically outstripped our ability to gain influence. However, we now have this available, and we have so much dust coming in that minus 20% shouldn't even be a big problem. Yeah, that's a pretty good law for our time and place. Alright, next turn we'll be able to search those with the scout ship, which means we don't have to spend Etchius' build time on it. Yeah, I feel like this is going alright. This is going pretty well. Looks like we did briefly have a starvation on Ingress. I think probably what happened there was that law getting cancelled reduced the amount of food we were producing on Ingress 4, which led to just enough food loss for a starvation. And then we immediately gained food, had the population point born again, and then are losing food. Alright, things are going to be in flux for a little while. Okay, that event ended, which is absolutely fine. And we are out of mushrooms. Well, that's unacceptable. I need 31 of those delicious blue-capped mushrooms. It's nice to have money. I feel like being broke is very common in my games. I'm so focused on everything else that we're doing, right? Some resource is going to have to suffer. And it tends to be food and influence for us. But we're getting this under control. So let's see. We're only happy here. We should probably fix that. I guess we should actually make the interplanetary transport network happen, because we can at least be getting extra production over here. And then, yeah, this will take a little while, but that's... yeah, hopefully we can get ourselves above the ecstatic barrier here. We are still devoted empire-wide, so we're still getting the big science boost. And let's see what we have here. Okay, those are some high-tier resources. Plus defense capacity and manpower output. Okay, well, that's a shame. The deposit itself does give some nice resources to the planet, though. Also, this event. I guess the extra vision for our scout is fine. Not super relevant, because, let's be honest, we're not really going too far. We're mostly going to parts of space that we have already seen. I feel like there was something I was gonna do. I get this feeling a lot, you've probably noticed. But I can't imagine what it would be at this moment. Hold on, let's pop back over to our population screen. We could try to acquire the resources to boost some other faction. So we want to try to push our science a little bit harder even, but I guess really the thing that makes the most sense is to try to get to 50 of our main population type. Not to the exclusion of having citizens on the rest of our... having other citizens. Like, obviously, we want all the population slots full. But once all the population slots are full... we should probably do this. Yeah, once all the population slots are full, it is probably the case that it is worth losing certain types of population in order to get more of our main population type. And just saying that makes me feel dirty, but... sometimes in a video game... you do some evil. I'm actually, I'm surprised by how torn I feel about that. I think we gotta get rid of some Tikkanen, because what we can do, right, is we can send population to a system where the population is full, and they'll just hover in a ship around the system and wait for an opening. That is maybe a solution. Feels bad, but maybe. The other thing we can do is just continue to expand. So we are very slowly sieging this system out, but we're probably going to have to make some actual ships, right? This is unacceptable. Okay, he's leaving. Oh no, he's going to go to Esh and spoil our quest. Right, I assume that I am nowhere near being done with that. Oh well, who cares? So after we get this finished, we'll start thinking about ships. We have to actually research a ship design, right? Yeah, I didn't get any military ships yet. Okay, this event has come to an end. That event pushing our ecologist political ideology up was definitely part of the problem. This is all important stuff. I think I probably... Do I want to spend any dust here trying to rush stuff? Probably not, right? Let's queue up a couple of things here. We do need to build the Cultural Apogee Center, but obviously I'm trying to hold off until we can build it in the capital, because that is where all of the population is. You know what would be a real bummer is if we got beat to this like right now, right before we finish it. I have discovered the 10 extra dust. Oh, the thing is a dust duplicator. Unfortunately, it looks like it only works on very small quantities. Yeah, we may as well grab that, and then this system is ecstatic. This should really go where all the population is too. I guess let's increase mining speed. More titanium means more titanium that we can sell. Oh, good. Pirate ships. Well, we do have our little fleet here. So you are partially bullet weapons, partially missile weapons. We definitely want to close to close here. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay. And Echerus, so this planet is hot. Probably makes sense for us to just go for sustainable farms early. We could grow this system a little bit faster. And actually, I probably just want to rush that. That's what I should do with my money. So now, do I want to build more buildings? We got plenty of population space here. It's probably worth it to focus on building for the moment. Alright. So here comes our wonder. Yep, we are very, very close to getting this done. So 3 turns now on our first Endless Tech, and we're being offered a quest that is always very easy to accomplish. Unfortunately, it has no meaningful rewards for us. I guess, yeah, we'll get this done. 200 dust is way more valuable than 30 Hyperium. Is that true? Because I don't want the Hyperium, but I could sell the Hyperium. So no, we should do one of the ones that gives the Hyperium reward. Yeah, this is easy enough. Just don't spend any dust in the next 2 turns to get a bunch of Hyperium. Something tells me I can manage that. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start getting influence bonuses because we are now going to build this, and then we finally will have some reasonable influence output and we can run some laws. Definitely go mining improvements. Adamantium is valuable. Actually, yeah, it's kind of valuable. It's valuable enough. So in this version of things, I didn't get wormhole tech. No, I totally have wormhole tech. There just aren't any wormholes. Well, these things happen. Alright, some free Calgaros. Always nice. And this actually is still running, so I guess that that pirate ship must not have stopped at Ash. I assumed it would, but it must have just like rolled right through. Weird. Alright. I apologize if this is a little bit non-interactive. In this, I mean, it's always kind of non-interactive for you guys, but you know what I mean. Now it's a little non-interactive for me even, because we're pretty much just sitting here waiting. But we're working on something very, very important. We're going to have some decisions to make soon. Okay, hey, look at that. We did it. That quest is basically just free stuff. Alright, now that we have this interplanetary transport network, look at how quickly the population of this planet is growing. Jeez. Alright, give me... Let me think. We're probably going to have to pick up another planet soon. Why don't we do this and then grab... It's gonna be this one, right? Yeah. Another place with some nice anomalies. We got pretty lucky here in that there's a lot of anomalies around our home system. How long are we looking at on this? Probably not very long, because that's a food ship right there, huh? So yeah, it'll it'll resolve in just a moment. So we did this, we got 80 extra influence, we are also producing 44 per turn. Still not enough to actually run a law. Also, even more Hiroshins. It's kind of a bummer because I don't think those are a particularly valuable population, but hard to say no to more people working and producing resources, right? So this doesn't necessarily need to be here. Here's my concern. This is where the Endless Research Park is. So we do get 20% extra science here as long as we keep our approval up. And the plus 10 per anomaly is a relatively small bonus, you know, relative to the 50 per system level. So actually, it probably is still right to build this here, even though the base output will be a little bit lower. We could put it... let's see. We have 3 anomalies here. 3 anomalies here. Okay, so we could build it in a place that has 3 anomalies pretty easily. Echius has 7. So it would be 120 here, but it would take forever to build. Or we can build it here and get 72 out of it. That's a pretty big difference, actually. There's something to be said for the 6,240 industry that it's going to take to build it, though. Like, this is really the only place that it makes sense to put it up. It's a shame that it'll be a little bit less effective here than it would be elsewhere, but it'll actually get done here. Also, I suppose we could actually send some population over to Echius, because right now the food that we're producing on Ingress is just going to waste. So we particularly like... Yeah, I guess I just send population of my main population type, right? Because we get... let's see, it was... Yeah, Echius. Because every planet in the Echius system has anomalies, so we really want to put as many smart boys here as we possibly can. Alright, Ash. Okay, we do have stuff lined up on Ash. We don't have to worry too much. Just put that down at the bottom of the queue so that I can actually see what it's building. And what are we going to do with this dust? It's so much dust per turn of construction here that I don't know that we'd be able to get even a single turn off of this by paying dust at the end of it. We should probably just rush something on Echius, probably, right? Echius is the one that needs the most development time. Okay. So we have our big endless tech. We have to get all 4 of the endless techs, obviously, but this is a huge, huge help. So dimensional folding is useful. And we have enough antimatter income, and we're getting even more. But this building will totally work for us. Like, this is kind of a wasted tech in the sense that we don't need this to continue pursuing our research victory, but I think the building it gives is a strong enough benefit to go after it. And then we'll start up this way, probably. Because we're not too far off of this tech. We need to get on to this tier, and then we can immediately skip to that. So we'll get, like, neural robotics and impactless sites, probably. Are these plus 50s? They are, okay. Yeah, I mean, we're way ahead of everybody on science, probably, by now. So I guess that makes sense. And the reason I chose impactless sites is partially because we have the prerequisite tech, so it's a little bit cheaper. We can have more science rollover for what we start researching next turn. But the other reason is that there is a hero available on the marketplace, and obviously that would be very helpful. Okay, we've just run flat out of stuff to build here. Oh, you know what? I was going to research basic ships, right? It probably makes sense to get these. These have no resource or research bonus associated with them. Oh, canceled my last research there. The way we should probably do this is like this. So we burn our research bonus as late as possible. I guess it doesn't actually matter. They all got to get done anyway. Actually, I guess neural robotics is what goes at the end. Because we don't actually have any sources of adamantium right now. Yeah, so we don't lose anything by delaying that. Okay, so for you, you know what? I might build Intergalactic Supermarket here, even though it will be a little bit less effective than in the capital. Just because this is it's way more efficient on our build time to just get this done here, instead of trying to fit it into the capital's extremely busy schedule. So it looks like our mining rate here is 9 now. That's pretty good. And we now have the ability to make real ships. So, plus 20 industry, minus 10 approval is almost certainly the way we're going here. I think our approval levels are really good. Oh, they're less really good than I was thinking they were. We need to fix that because down here we're getting less science. Which makes me think this is maybe a little dangerous. This sucks. Minus 30 industry is a big deal. Yeah, in some places that is a crippling industry loss. But the 20 approval does immediately put us back up to devoted. Yeah, alright. We'll just figure it out. We'll use dust. We'll use dust to fix some of this stuff. Apparently we'll use dust to fix it next turn. Alright, so we have access to the Imposer. Let's edit this, and then one of these should be sufficient to take out that pirate base, right? Now, we did find an upgraded bullet weapon here, it looks like, because you can see there are 2 projectiles indicating that this is a second-order weapon, but torpedoes are still so much more damaging. It can be a little awkward when you run into enemies that have a lot of bullet weapons, but pirates aren't super smart. They're not going to change up their weapons tech on us. That said, we can keep things kind of as they are and just take advantage of the fact that nobody will be able to tech their defenses to stop us. That's probably worth doing. This is an extra support slot. Like, I'm tempted to just put another engine in here and make it so that these things are so fast they can get from one end of the Empire to the other in one turn. We never have to worry too much about their positioning. I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't intend to fight players with these things, and if that is a thing that happens, we'll just retrofit them. We'll upgrade the design and retrofit them a bit. So yeah, give me one of these. We'll clear out the pirate ship with that. Or the pirate base, rather. And I guess our scout ship should actually move on. I was having it hang out here because it is actually helping in the siege, but we should keep searching stuff. We should keep searching systems, and we should keep exploring to find new things to settle. Right now, we are 1 system below our colonization threshold. We'll take Staterus, obviously. Although it is a shame that it has, like, no good resources. Alright, I lost out on that. Is our hero not level 9? He is, but we weren't the ones to uncover the deed in some part of the science wheel that we are not at yet. I guess it must be here. Yeah, okay. There is a legendary deed on this tier, and we haven't actually unlocked it, so we can't see it. I'm sure if we did unlock it, there's a pretty good chance we would get it. Unfortunately, I don't know the high-tier deeds well enough to have any guess of what that is. My guess is that the reward is probably not super valuable, because that tends to be the way of these things. Okay, so we have 9 turns on this research. Here's my concern. We may lose the scientists as the leading party in the next election, and if that happens, we'll immediately become unable to continue researching that, but there's not really a ton I can do about it at this point. I guess focus on this, science those up. So completing specializations does give us a little bit more scientist approval. We're going to have to re-mushroom our guys, so this time we need 38. Boy, I sure hope whoever's selling all those to the market never stops, because I have no idea how to actually get them myself. But we really need our fix. Also, 38 is good. We're getting pretty close to that population bonus. Okay, we're going to need to take another world in this system pretty quickly. I guess we should grab... Oh, wow. Right, industry costs. We should probably, like, do this. This is the next thing we probably need to spend dust on, is buffing up the industry output of Edisir. At least until that event wears off, this thing's not going to be able to build anything by itself. So again, I should probably move that to the bottom of that, just so that I can tell what is actually being built there. Alright, the pirates are producing fleets that are a little bit more dangerous. Apparently only a little bit, though. Just the tiniest little bit. I don't think there's any chance that we can get the research time of Wealth of the Endless down so far that we finish it before the election. We could be working on science buildings, but we're not going to finish them pre-election. Does anybody have a science thing that they can get done before the election? Probably not. Well, get to work on that. It's important. You know what we should grab after Wealth of the Endless is we should go back and get maximized exploitation so that we can actually inhabit lava worlds. Be the greatest to delve into the mysteries of the galaxy by completing 10 quests. Okay. Is that... No, this is still unsolved. Whatever. Legendary deeds that I don't actually care about. I don't know why I'm stressing so much about where everything is. Alright, we've discovered a free ship, and... Well, that's a shame. If they have their own source of Gigalattice, how are we going to convince them to buy our Gigalattice?
What is your objective?
Oh. Never mind, I no longer have any ships at their system, so all of a sudden they're fine with us. Ah, boy. Big increase to militarist political ideology right after I built some ships right before an election. I'm hoping that that's not going to be a big problem. I suspect that it might be a big problem. I still got 8 turns left on that. I mean, the systems we do have are developing, right? We can't be too upset about the way things are turning out. Let's look at the political predictometer. Now, those parties are pretty close. We might be able to fudge the election a little bit. So we can see here the cost of the election actions. We probably want to do primary elections, so I guess we're actually totally fine on dust. Alright, and with that, I think we can just drop here, right? Although, maybe I want to wait until after the election. Let's not mess with things too much. I guess anybody who's drawn over to vote militarist will be drawn off of one of the other two parties. If I had any way of knowing... somewhere there's a wheel that describes, for your entire population, I think, this thing. Like, for the aggregate of your population. So militarist events generally... Is this even going to be useful? Okay. None of our people have militarist events giving other types of political opinion. No, that's not true. These guys have militarist events buffing industrialists. Okay, so probably... There's not really a way for me to predict, it looks like, who would be drawn off by the rise of the militarist party. Alright, well, I think we're just going to have to not mess with it then. We'll throw some dust at the problem, and if that doesn't fix it, then that doesn't fix it, I guess. Okay, selecting this will give us some science opinions, so this is what we're going to do. Also, it would give us extra this is the faction quest for the Tikkanen. Yeah, we're going to pick this because it gives us the right kind of political opinion, and I don't care about the outcome of that quest, even one little bit. Sorry, Tikkanens. It's just the way things is. Right, another source of virtual artifacts. This end of the galaxy is really heavy with just a couple of different resources. I still have no idea where all these blue cat mushrooms are coming from. Alright, here comes the election. Yeah, we're pretty close together here. So we're gonna do primary elections, provides a strong boost to the selected party, ideal if it is already well supported, which it totally is. 10-9, 5-4, 6-3. Okay, the ecologists are gonna win. Well, listen, we did what we could. I don't think that there's anything we could have done to make that election go the other way. The gap was too wide and we have too few tools left to adjust it. So, we can no longer research... this, but we got some good time in on it, I guess. So we gotta grab some stuff from this tier. Fabrication licenses are pretty powerful. Unfortunately, that building is made out of adamantium, which we do not have a source of. Trying to think, what here is even valuable? Obviously, Galactic Security Charter doesn't do anything without commercial frameworks. But we could get commercial frameworks real quickly and then do this. And then we just pick up 2 others, and it's probably like gamma absorption and crust engineering, just in case we come across these resources. It doesn't feel great. Mineral manipulation. Yeah, like any building that costs adamantium, unfortunately, is currently unavailable to me. We do have a lot of fertile systems, or fertile planets in our systems. So maybe optimize logistics over one of these other things? Over crust engineering, maybe? Yeah, alright. So we're not going to be able to get back on our second endless research for a few turns here. Sure, random technology... In Ingress produced 504 industry and 319 food. Or, oh, the other one is going to require us to increase our science, which we're doing all the time anyway. So, let's do that. 504 and 1070. So we're very close, and we're very close. Okay, that probably does it right there. Alright, so we're now working on 2 F-Reality Institutes. We have the resources to queue up another one, which I guess we will do here. And now we have pretty much the whole Empire working hard on science increases, except for Edisir, which, you know, it just needs a little bit of time, that's all. I do want to grab the gas worlds, but we need population growth room first. Yeah, it's kind of remarkable how few ways there are out of our starting systems. This is actually kind of an awkward position that we're in here. Oh, right, I'm gonna go ahead and attack that pirate world now. Okay, we're finding lots of great resources for everybody else. Plus food on all of our planets. That seems pretty okay. And we population capped here again, so I'm going to grab 3 units of population here and send them to Edisir. Edisir's picking up more population space as we speak. We probably just grab this right after. Raise the total amount of science produced per turn in the galaxy. Something tells me we may well be the top contributor to this quest. Alright, so Brains over Bucks is producing a lot more science than we would otherwise. It does suck, though, that we're not getting the extra industry from the green fertility bill. And we're not getting that growth speed either. Hold on, let's take a quick look. This is 5666. So we cut you and pass green fertility instead. We lose a fair amount of science. But the extra resources have to be worthwhile, right? Like, we're, especially down here in our developing systems, the extra food is a big deal, because all of our citizens in these systems are on planets that have anomalies, so we're getting a ton of extra food. Yeah, probably that small science sacrifice is worth the amount of growth for greater science output in the near future that it is giving us. And we can always swap back, right? I can't believe there's not a single wormhole off of any of our systems here. Seems very unusual. So we now have commercial frameworks. And everybody's working on important stuff. But we'll get a trade company going. Trade companies do produce science. And I assume these are all 50%. Yeah, okay. Alright, our very small dust boost has ended, and nobody is more disappointed than I am. We are slowly moving toward the center of the galaxy. We just started way, way off in a corner. Kind of an unfortunate circumstance. Like, it's nice that our neighbor didn't invade too much and allowed us to take a bunch of systems that totally would not have happened with certain neighbors, like if we'd had cravers next to us, probably. Alright, I picked up that thing, so I could buy this hero. We should, like, actually buy the hero. Let's have a quick look at you first. Alright, a primitive counselor. So, I mean, counselors have some pretty okay stuff. I do like a counselor. And plus 10 science per anomalies on colonized planets. Yeah, alright, this is a good hero. We would have hired her no matter what, but it's a good hero. We probably want to put her on Echius, I'm thinking. Right, there's still a lot of growth and building to do here. And she gives a lot of science. Unfortunately, she is level 1. Oh, hold on a second. Did you see that? Her fleet bonus is plus 10 shield capacity per curiosity discovered on fleet. That's actually probably really big in the late game, right? I don't know if it's big enough to matter, but it's big. I guess you guys are... No, you should not be fleeted together, right? Because the whole thing is the Imposer is supposed to be super fast and able to respond to stuff quickly. Alright, well... let's go ahead and buy these. What did I tell you? Those cost increases really just don't even feel them. I guess this one doesn't actually even help us. This will be fine. Alright, let's be rid of some pirates. Let's blitz them for now, since we have extra troops above our cap. Yep, and then we'll bombard them next turn. And that, honestly, probably will be enough. There might be one more turn of combat after that. Alright, more and more resources. Oh, you know what? We've also unlocked the 3rd level of system development. So even though I don't think this is any good, we can pretty easily do this and just produce more science. I don't know that there are any other... produce more science. Produce more dust. We could try to produce more science. We could buy luxuries off the market. Sort me by quantity. There are not... Yeah, not really any second level ones. We have a source of Gigalattice Yeah, we have a source here. We just aren't actually on that planet. Either of those planets. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and just grab all of the planets in this system. So yeah, it's probably worth waiting until we have access to the Gigalattice. There is some on the market, not enough for us to actually run the booster. We actually need our antimatter now. We probably are not going to end up needing this stuff, because I'll go deciduous trees and Gigalattice for the next boost. So let's sell some stuff. We can probably sell actually quite a lot of this. Let's start with 250. Make ourselves some money real quick here. And like this, we probably don't need most of that and most of that. Okay, let's rush some constructions. Actually, I'm gonna buy these out so that we start harvesting this resource right away. And then rush some stuff like that. Okay. Right, these are just resources that we unlocked. And we're about to see a pretty sharp jump in our science output. It's been brought to your attention that life for the average nearest in your empire is somewhat of a challenge. From exclusionary vending machines to inadequate restroom facilities, your 8-limbed citizens face daily humiliations. Is it time for a more inclusive society where every new nearest citizen feels welcome from their first day? That does sound like a good thing. And they'll just output a lot of extra... Yeah, boy, this is a sharp contrast, huh? Well, I think we want to do this. We want to try to keep the scientists in power as much as possible. So within the next 25 turns, level up 2 systems. Actually should be extremely easy to do. Alright, we're 2 turns off of having this unlocked again. It is a shame that we lost the scientist party there for a bit, but I don't think we did anything wrong there. It's tough to keep one party in charge forever. Okay, this seems like an okay place to build a trade company headquarters, right? Actually, are we pop-capped here? We totally are. Yeah, this is what we need to do. But apparently that's going to get done instantly. It's better to build this on Ingress because it is the largest number of nodes from... Actually, the path from Safe to Edisir is the longest path, so... let's do it here instead. Which means you just want to work on something else. Yeah, that's pretty good there. And then dust, I guess? Alright, here we can ease up the pain on our guys. A little bit of preemptive bombing. That dust will help us get back to... Ooh, 49. We're about to get the final population boost here. Or the population collection bonus. Our population has grown really quickly this game. Like, really, really quickly. Alright, there's a real good chance that we're at 50 next turn. And just in case you don't remember, that is a big cost reduction on all technology costs. Assuming, again, that it stacks additively with our other cost reduction from the wonder that we built. So we can get luxuries faster, we can get even more food. See, this is tricky. My plan was to have him kind of bounce around the Empire and help planets grow, but we actually really need him to help us run laws. He's producing quite a bit of science, or quite a bit of influence here. Actually, I guess not that much. I overestimated the amount of influence, the base influence that we were producing. So maybe he can be bounced around, and if he can, that means that we can go ahead and get this this food bonus. Right, what else is he doing? He's giving approval. Yeah, just approval, industry, and food. Okay, so we'll send him to Edisir, then. We have all of this population space. And it didn't even really slow Ingress's build down that much. Where are we at on this? It was 504 and 1070. So predictive logistics will put us at an extra 80. We'll still be a little short. Whatever, we'll get it. I'm not concerned. Okay, everybody's doing important stuff. And how is that exploration going? Well, we keep finding curiosities that the Riftborn were too lazy to explore themselves. Okay, that's a pretty good system. It's a shame that they have already settled it. Alright, so our rate of income here is just the 5. But, like, I think this is probably what we want to do for our next level modernization. Then it's just going to be a matter of waiting for this stuff to roll in. Two more turns. Alright, our population boost is pretty okay. Well, it's hard for me to imagine that it's wrong to go for this. We are definitely going to have to go back to the non-cost law, though. Let's go ahead and pop you, go back to brains over bucks for the moment. So here, what are we exploring down here? Oh, there's a minor faction over there to meet. Yeah, we probably focus on growth with her as well. It has served us well. Our population unit is so powerful. Like, really, all it's going to take for us to win this game is to just get a bunch more of them. So we really want to produce the trade company subsidiary on Edisur. This is not terribly valuable here. It does actually nothing. Let's grab that. Oh, we need approval too. Yeah, given the population here, AI labor is way more industry output than predictive logistics. And actually, we need to throw a settle in here as well. Okay, well, that's not terribly difficult. Yeah, because we're in a population cap in like 4 or 5 turns there. Alright, things are going super well. You know, it may be the case that I should have gone for the left quadrant first. I was thinking that system developments might be useful. But if we had gone this way first, we would have acquired, first of all, more influence generation, and secondly, more law slots to help us get stuff out of that extra influence generation. So that would probably have been the right play. Okay, wow, there's a lot of stuff unexplored here. So first, I'm going to do this. Try to meet these guys. And then we'll just hang out here and reveal curiosities. I assume that the Riftborn will not have a problem with us doing this. Okay. Oh, the mind control helmet. I am not a big fan of the mind control helmet. That said, Edisur is already ecstatic and doesn't really need the approval. Yeah, the militarist party isn't going to get into the government. And also, I do kind of want to tamp the ecologists down a little bit if I can. Alright, and our scout ship can't move very well for a while, but that's okay, because like I said, it was just going to sit here at this system anyway. So, I mean, the Riftborn aren't doing too bad on population either, it looks like. Oh, I need to actually produce the produce the colony ship that is supposed to be colonizing Staterus. Is Ashes a fine place to do that? Beautifier, I'll just put this here. Here, maybe? Yeah, we'll just rush it. Okay, and we do have level 3 modernization available. Let's do it. I want to do it in the capital first, but also we need to let the F-Reality Institute here finish. Alright, safe isn't a bad place to do it. We have a reasonable population here. We should probably do that. Alright, we are halfway there. This is definitely going to be a slightly faster science victory than usual. Okay, and we received botanical scanning, which is actually a tech that is relevant to continuing to move up this this side of the tree. Let's adaptive bureaucracies is okay. Xenology is okay. Xenology will potentially get us more heroes. We're definitely not doing any spin project. That said, adaptive bureaucracies does reduce the cost of some other techs. They're both at a 10% buff to omniscience, so yeah, I guess we'll go this way. Alright, well, we're not going to do this quest, but if we did do it, we would want bombers over fighters. Honestly, I have a hard time imagining the use of fighters. I know they're better at fighting other Empire's bombers than bombers are, but that's just not a good enough reason. I think we can afford to do this, enough to get them, paying us properly. Interestingly, they are not allied with the Riftborn. I wonder why that would be. Why would you not... Huh, okay, well, whatever. And let us continue to hang out here and siphon a little bit of loot off of them. What have we uncovered? Sacrifice influence to get a power bonus. Huh, that's an interesting battle tactic. I'm not sure that we've seen that one before. I'd like to think that if I'd seen that, I would have used it. Oh, I'm just moving through too fast because I'm like, man, watch those numbers fly, but I should definitely actually be moving my stuff here. Let's see, we're 10 turns off of another election. That is actually an unfortunately long time. We definitely need national museums. Hyperpacks are okay. It's a low-cost thing because we have a facilitating tech for it. We have this already, so we need to pick up one more tech. I mean... right? Just all of the friendly stuff. And all of this stuff combined costs less than the amount of overflow we have from the previous tech. Alright, that has come to an end, which is maybe not totally ideal. Were we using that? Oh yeah, we really needed that approval, actually. Okay, well, get me approval. Also, get me specializations. So we could increase the mining rate here, instead of continuing to push food. How quickly is this system growing? Oh, we're at 182, so as long as you're below 300 food per turn, you can still grow faster. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll get the luxuries we need. We don't have to be in too much of a hurry. And speaking of growth... Alright, so we're not too far off of actually moving our faction quest forward. I stalled out on that pretty badly because I was not focusing. Pretty much is where that comes down to. These things happen. To me, frequently. Notice I say happen to. This thing that I am doing happens to me. Boy, there sure is a lot of quadronics in Riftborn territory. That must be nice. Yeah, I think I probably screwed up by not going left first in the tech wheel. We were closest to the endless tech on the right, and I mean it is worth noting that the endless tech that we got there is just plus 15% all incomes, so like that's a pretty big deal. But the extra influence and stuff is meaningful. Would have been helpful. Alright, we need 2 more techs here. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a shame that we aren't scientists right now, right? Because we could skip this tier, but it's definitely not worth delaying until the scientists come back in power. We can probably have this done by turn 80. Well, that might be a little too ambitious, but maybe not by a huge amount. Replace a unit of your other populations with 1 unit of your original population. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll just gently genetically alter them. So where should that be? This isn't actually terribly valuable to us. Honestly, this isn't either. We're not doing enough expansion for most of this stuff to matter, so I think I'm actually going to shuffle this to the front.
What do you want?
You're losing a war. No, I am absolutely not interested in getting involved in your war. I can hardly imagine a thing that I care about less. Sorry. I mean, I know that's probably a bummer to hear. Okay, we don't need to double the next ship contents. This will probably be fine. It'll probably just be 1 ship. From Edisir, yeah, we'll probably just get one ship in, and that'll finish it off, because we're producing quite a bit of food naturally there. And here, we're probably going for that. This should definitely be built in the capital. Approval here is a little bit low, so let's get you. Okay. Capital's coming along. We don't have quite the, like, industry powerhouse thing going on that we do sometimes. We probably... We want to use dust to rush some stuff. I'm just not sure what. Here we go. Growth stuff. And now we have this. That's actually a fair amount of extra food as well, huh? Alright, that seems fine. We do also want to have enough dust to make sure that we can buy out more population-boosting fungus. And we have an extra law slot. However, we have no... Yeah, we have no free laws that I want to run, I think. Minus 10% industry actually isn't a big deal for us. I mean, we're working on some stuff that matters, but it's not nearly as valuable as the big science boost we'll get from 30 extra approval. Yeah, that put us to devoted. That's a big deal. Okay. I hate to reduce the industry output of our systems. You know how I feel about industry, but I think that's definitely the right thing to do. Where are we on this? We have 18 turns left. And in 4 turns we'll have enough Gigalattice to actually get it going, so don't have to be worried about that at all. This should probably be specialized. We definitely need that. And then, you know, we do have to get our trade company stuff going too. I'm going to do it like this. We actually have a bunch of subsidiaries that we can build. Yeah, you know what? Let's buy a little bit of time off of the stuff this system is doing as well. Because remember, we did pick up the tech that gives you extra subsidiaries. So let's make sure all those get built. In fact, put that front and center. Very important. Because those trade companies will produce science. They won't produce a ton of it, but they'll produce more the earlier we get them. Wow, another source of quadronics. That's crazy. Man, the Riftborn have a really sweet setup. It's a shame we didn't get in on this a little bit more. I should have been more aggressive expanding out. In my defense, our home area is kind of oddly shaped, and I thought for sure that this star lane was going to lead somewhere significant before I actually traveled down it. Alright, so just one turn off of being able to research the third Endless Tech. This is going to be a significantly sub-100 victory. So, even in our first very clumsy attempt at utilizing the custom civilization systems, we've really seen a huge improvement. And like I said, I'm sure there's something a little bit fancier that can be done. I don't think we need to worry about the cheat cost during elections. We have plenty of dust. And arresting spies gives you a big empire-wide approval bonus, generally. I don't think this skill is very valuable for us. Let's go for Optimal Operations Expert. I believe that is our first point, empire-wide, of Optimal Operations Expert here on turn 73. That's fairly unusual. Is there any... Okay, there is one unexplored curiosity here. So I zoomed in one step too far. Sure, even more Gigalattice. Why wouldn't it just be more Gigalattice? Okay, so now we have a little bit of trade company stuff running. If we unlock a second trade company, we can, put the headquarters here and the other subsidiary there. It's a nice clean run. We did this. We sure did. Minus 25% on dust and strategic resources retrofit. Okay, it lowers our retrofit costs. That's fine. Not really terribly important. And we've unlocked another law slot. And we actually have some influence now, although even the most basic influence cost laws are now 104. I mean, I want to run this green fertility bill. We could do it for a while. It's definitely better than cool copies. The Dirty Hands Act is also pretty good. We probably don't want to cut Toys for Boys, and in fact we need to keep building approval bonuses because we are very close to falling out of the top tier here. And overpopulation is certainly part of the issue. Alright, 6 turns on that. We'll finish that right as we come up on the next election. Alright, the religious party is going to get a boost from that, but probably not much of one, if I had to guess. So yeah, I bet we're sub 90 on this. It's not bad. It's not like... It'll be probably my fastest victory of all time, but it's not breaking the game cleanly in half, you know? Alright, so we got another hero here. And we get a random technology by having 3 ecologist laws in the Senate, or by having 55 influence per turn, or by having 3 systems of level 3. All of these things are pretty easy to accomplish, and I don't want to do this one because we don't want to empower the ecologist party any more than we already have. I'm a little worried that, what's the industrialist? Yeah, the parties are closing in and the industrialists are getting higher, although it looks like the scientists are going to win very cleanly. Sorry, it's going to be scientist, and then, honestly, it might be pacifist over ecologist, which would not be good. So maybe we do want to do this one, even though this is kind of an annoying thing to get to happen. Well, actually, you know what? We could do this turn, couldn't we? Because I can just cancel, temporarily cancel Toys for Boys, and put cool copies on. Yeah, there you go. They give us liquid composites. Sorry, is that the large ship technology that I just got for free? It absolutely is. Okay, well, you notice we gained a turn on the amount of time left to research this, because having more science increases your... Yeah, okay, it did not take away our omniscience bonus, but just having more techs increases the cost of your techs. A pretty standard thing in 4X games, I think. Hey, let me see my fleet. Okay, so we finally reached Lumeris space. And I should actually look at what our next quest is. Search the curiosity on Staterus 1 when you're ready to pay 1,000 dust to get the Nano Cuisine plant. Yeah, okay. It's an approval building. It is definitely not something that we can bring this ship back for, but we can just spawn another scout ship. That's a cheap as free sort of thing to do here. Yeah, in fact, we'll just go ahead and give that a little shove. And we are continuing to level heroes up. So we could go back and get the approval bonus. We are still fighting with approval pretty badly. Let's do that. Let's also... Oh, we gotta wait until next turn to cut cool copies. Probably worth it for pushing the faction quest forward, but that is a lot of influence we're losing this turn. Alright, so here on Ursa, we could get some more food, but I don't know that we need to. We're gonna population cap really quickly here. We're only content right now. Honestly, this is maybe the game where we need the Wellbeing Foundation the most out of any game of this I've ever played. Because in a lot of our other games, we've had a myriad of ways to increase approval. Try to get this to the point where we don't have to actually be running any approval laws. Because I would love to use our law slots to actually be producing resources. Yeah, we should probably queue that up. Now that this system's really kicking, it is building stuff very quickly. Boy, we are going to win without seeing almost anything of the galaxy. And over here on Echerus... Yeah, man, free large ships. That's crazy. We could build one, too. We have enough adamantium. You know what? Maybe this is worth doing? I should colonize this planet first. But maybe this is worth doing just so that the Riftborn don't get any ideas. I'm a little concerned that they're going to realize that we're close to victory and just freak out on us. Although, we would build the large ships so quickly that maybe it doesn't matter. Oh, right. 5 should be doing something, sure. So what are his natural bonuses? 15 approval, or 15 science on system. Of course, he's a Horatio. So he's going to be producing food and industry. How long do we have on Staturus? Okay, I am going to pass the turn without assigning him, and he's gonna be the boss of Staturus. He can perk this system up a little bit. I don't know that it's a good idea to put a mutineer out on the in control of a system out on the reaches of our territory this way. Actually, hold on. Before I do this, I need to... Okay, the system has no hot. So probably it's better to go optimal operations expert here instead of efficiency aficionado. Efficiency aficionado is more industry, but it's considerably less food. Okay, we need to repopulation boost. And then once we've done that, I will have some idea of how much money we have to play with. Uh-oh, 42. We cannot repopulation boost. There actually isn't enough of that stuff out. Well, that's not good. Yeah, I guess we're just going to have to do without for a while. That's a shame. That does mean that we can go ahead and spend a little bit here, though. Let's see, this is actually a temperate world. I feel like it's been a while since we settled the system on a temperate world. Okay, what do we need here? Probably specialization. Then after that, there's not really that much population space, and we're at over 1 citizen per turn worth of food, so actually, food increases at this point won't do anything. We're still not very happy here. Let's try to fix that. We really want to build the culture center in the capital. Let's get that going. Alright. Still growing. Our rate of science research still increasing. It's getting pretty okay. Right, we made our nearest population happy, so a little bit of extra industry for us. What is the approval level on Ursa currently? It is ecstatic by quite a bit. So we can afford a small population, or a small approval hit here. Although, I do... Where are we at ecologist-wise? Okay, I think the ecologists are going to make it into the government. We can probably skip taking this. I feel like by paying, honestly, almost any attention at all to what is going on with our political party stuff, I feel like I'm spending a lot more time actually interacting with the governmental systems here than I often do. That's going to take us exactly to the threshold of being ecstatic, which means the next birth that goes on Echius 3, you know, like we have overpopulation problems coming. We should probably build ourselves up a little buffer of approval. And we have the ability to create the other trade company headquarters. Yeah, like I said, I think it makes the most sense to do it here. And then We can use dust to increase the effectiveness of our trade companies. We probably don't need to worry about increasing luxury income that much, so maybe dust and science. We just don't really need more of our luxuries that badly. I know we're having to wait on these level 3 modernizations. Eventually that's not going to be true anymore. Yeah, alright. We don't really need dust either, is the only thing I was thinking there. Alright, and then down here on Ursa, we don't really need food anymore, so... It's like more stuff that I want to build on the capital, just because that's where the population cap is highest. Yeah, I don't think we have any other systems even approaching it. Yeah, Edisir's not going to do it, because 2 of the planets are big gas planets that just don't hold population. But we're also constantly busy in the capital. I guess we'll keep holding off on it. Okay, we definitely need to build approval stuff here. Yeah, it doesn't feel great to push off buildings that have as much of an effect as Denark University has, and maybe that's a good argument for putting it in front of the Culture Center. It does produce additional influence. Yeah, I should maybe have built that earlier. I don't know. So that has come to an end. That has come to an end. We've discovered the Kaltik Ma, and we've been immediately attacked by them. Well, fortunately, we do have a safe retreat. Right, you guys need to calm down. So we could take this Zvali quest, right? Do I actually want a system down here? Their faction trait, their assimilation trait is pretty good. Well, you know, we can just, we can rent access to that at the cost of Dark Glitter, which we don't need. And are producing. Okay, yeah, so we'll rent their faction trait from them. That'll work, that's fine. So that's an extra 20 approval from that. Which means we still probably want to keep our approval law running, because we are really just barely holding everybody to ecstatic. But it is nice to have everybody at ecstatic. We're still not in a place where we could run any more influence points worth of laws. Oh, what are you guys thinking? So let's see. These are long-range ships, so yeah, just close in. I guess we could have watched that battle, because... A grave defeat. Wow. I guess they do have a medium here. Oh, I totally, like, I didn't even look at what this quest was because I cared about it so little, so I guess we have striked plasma bombers now. Win the battle at Staterus to earn the Pirate Shield. I don't really care about that. We probably just want to pick up, even though it's a small science boost. Although this will give us a bunch of influence right now. Yeah, you know what? Let's take this. Because as soon as we can get up to, honestly, we only need to be producing a few more influence per turn to be able to remain positive while pulling Toys for Boys and putting in, like, the first scientist law. Yeah, give me dust. And also some more dust. Alright, so Staterus is not doing super well on population, and I would like to send some points of population from our other planets here. I'm a little worried that we're not going to be able to hold it, though. Well, you guys can form up, and I guess good luck. Let's bounce you guys from here to Staterus, and we'll just hope they get through. Okay, so we have our nano cuisine plants available now. That'll help with our approval issues. At some point, like I keep saying, we do want to cut Toys for Boys. We're going to need something to fill in that approval gap. So 2 more heroes if we can get at least 8 fertile planets into our empire. Well, that's actually kind of an issue. None of these planets are fertile? Yeah, so we actually have all of the planets in our current systems. We would have to go out and get, probably at the very least, 2 more systems. There is a single fertile planet here. So yeah, picking that up would not help enough. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know that we're going to be able to push through the last part of our faction quest here. I mean, it also sort of doesn't matter. Also, I just realized how extremely long this video has gotten. But at this point, we're so close to the end, we may as well finish it, right? So we're probably going to need to produce another large ship. Sorry, another medium. No, you know what? Let's make the large. The pirates have asked for this. Should I fiddle with that design first, maybe? They pushed me to this. Somehow this isn't my fault. Hold on. Let's just pull everything, right? Okay, so we have 1 fleet module. Oh no, these ones are untyped. So we can put you down here. Let's go for a couple bomber modules. Obviously I don't want to make it cost too much. We have mining for antimatter, but we don't have infinite antimatter. And then, like, from here, traditional weapon systems, I guess. Probably like torpedoes and plasma beams, and try to engage at long range. And then just divide up the defenses. Yeah, that's a pretty good ship. Six turns to build. Where are we producing more industry than that? Etchius is really our strongest industry system. Yeah, that'll do. And that thing will get to Staterus pretty quickly with the 2 Hyperion engines in it. Alright, well this ended up being a fairly short game, you know, and that is the plan, right? We're trying to, oh, hey, there's a system right out here. Run, run, run. Oh, I was trying to get him out of there before the battle happened. Well, we can just retreat. Oh, he didn't get automatically folded in with the fleet. That's strange. When they attacked us, he should have been, right? Because this fleet is 3 command points and the shuttle is 1 command point? Huh. I don't know. Alright, so these ships are kind of a weird amalgam of stuff. As a whole, the fleet's better close than it is long. Medium would actually be more ideal, but... Okay, we did it. We got our pirate shield, which I don't... Whatever. I don't care about that. And we did this thing, which also I don't care about. We're over here accomplishing all kinds of quests, pretty much by accident. Alright, and if you're wondering why we suddenly saw that, it's because our influence bubble got close enough to it, I believe. I don't think we gained any actual planetary vision. I think it's just the influence bubble. Alright, we are ecstatic here for now, but we won't always be, and I have nothing else of value to build, so we may as well grab that. Here we have lots of other stuff we could still be building. How much is it going to cost me to cheat the election if I want to? Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I'll have enough to do that. We should probably modernize here. And then, yeah, here we should absolutely just build food buildings. We got a lot of building to go. Also, I guess we should pick up another world so that our people have someplace to go after they overflow here. Boy, this needs to be... You know what? We'll just rush that. And then I want to make sure we have enough money to cheat the election, so let's sell some stuff. Like this stuff, which we almost certainly don't need. Okay, we can sell these as well. I guess I don't really need to do this. We probably actually want to keep some of our dark glitter so that we can keep borrowing this volley faction thing. We don't need much more money. We'll be okay. We probably want to buy out these food buildings. Actually, what I want to buy out is this. We're not going to be on any strategic resources here. Let's go ahead and do that as well. Okay. And I did found the trade company already. So I need to hold at least 3K. We can go ahead and buy some more freighters as well here. Alright, that'll do for now. Let's have an election, and scientists are leading, but not by a huge amount. So we are going to want to put a little bit of muscle behind them. Oh yes, also I suppose we should be researching things. Fair point. Does not matter, actually. Alright, scientists with efficient primaries. Just make sure that they get back in charge, because that'll cut a whole tier of research out. Uh-oh. Wow, it looks like... Okay, that system swung pretty hard for science. I think we're one scientist vote ahead, actually. Okay, so we got Oracle of Science back, and we've also got Power to the People Act. This is really good for us, but we're going to have to figure out if we can afford to run it. We are producing a lot more influence than we once were. Okay, that's a lot of notifications. Yes, the remnants are thriving members of our empire. 20% dust and strategic retrofit cost. Boy, none of this stuff matters, like, at all. A lowered manpower refill rate just doesn't. It's not a part of our plan at all. Obviously, extra science at the cost of dust. That's the thing I'm willing to do pretty much any time. And more science. Actually, how are we doing on approval right now? We are extremely happy. We do not need the extra approval. This is not very much science, but the approval is going to have actually no benefit, so... And the approval is going to have actually no benefit. Why don't you grab luxury resources? Alright. So we just need to get 3 more researches here. It doesn't really matter what they are. Do we have more titanium or Hyperium? Titanium. Advanced weapon modules. Okay, and then... Can we afford to cut toys for boys? Yep, we stay devoted. How much can we afford to run Power to the People? Actually, we can afford to run that for quite a long time. So our science output is 16k with an 18k overflow. So as soon as we, next turn, we'll have this entire overflow plus almost all of this, because these are pretty cheap, right? Yeah, 4k. Okay, they're not that cheap. So we'll have like 22k overflow going into the research of a tech that only costs 83k. And we are very, very close to the end of this. Let's see, by the time you get back here, they will like us, so probably they won't attack you. They'll like us enough to let us retrofit our ships at their systems, so I'm sure they won't blow up our ships at their systems. And I suppose we should be keeping an eye on the marketplace. Okay, yep, somebody dumped a ton of Blue Cat mold. We are at 81 smart boys now. That's getting a little out of hand. Let's sell these and these. Oh, right, I was supposed to hold on to some of that dark glitter. Whatever, we'll mine more. It's fine. Alright, that number is fairly high. It's like there's not too much we can do to improve our science directly at this point. We can build ourselves some extra approval, though. And extra influence. This is probably not worth building here. Yeah, and Ursa is also really close to the line, but actually Ursa does have all the approval buildings. Well, that's a shame. So Ursa can't build anything important then, actually. I guess extra food's never totally wasted, right? It can be pretty wasted. But, like, we're still accumulating manpower and stuff. Okay, the extra food event, which has been running forever, has ended. This has ended, which is a real shame. And, oh, okay. 20 extra approval for everybody. That seems pretty alright. So at this point, we don't... How much do we need extra influence? We don't, really. So yeah, why don't you just, I guess, get me a small amount of science? Yeah, these are all actually important bills now. We're actually running a full government of bills that are applied to our purpose. That's nice. And we have the trade company experience to open up a new trade company, but we don't have any systems to put it on. And I'm not going to bother settling that, because it wouldn't be up and contributing before the end of the game. Speaking of the end of the game, it looks like it's quite soon. Let's send the Exactor out to Staterus. Managed to go through the entire game without watching a single battle. That probably is not totally ideal. I know people do like to see the battles, and honestly, I do too. The battle engine's really nice looking. I guess we don't need Solar Security Operations Base here because this is not on the trade routes, but also, what else am I going to build? There's not actually anything else for us to pick up that's relevant. So, yep, as you might expect, we were the greatest contributor to raising the amount of science produced in the galaxy. Alright, this volley have been taken from us cruelly. At this point, we could, like, go blow some stuff up, or it's not really much danger. We can kind of just do whatever we want. I think our 2-turn victory is fairly assured. Got up to 24k. Not bad. So hopefully the lessons that we've learned about growth optimization and stuff can be applied to future games that are a little bit more actually competitive. But I think before we get back to actually competitive games, we're probably going to do a couple more custom faction games, and we're going to try to get them even less competitive. Really, the Kaltikma attacked me again. Our approval level is high enough. Again, at this approval level, you can repair your ships and retrofit them and stuff at their systems. They're willing to help us fix our ships up, but not to not blow them out of the sky. Okay, well... listen, little revealer, we salute you. Go down swinging, buddy. He didn't get either of them. Oh, well. And we're never gonna know what lie beneath the surface of Nusakan. I'm not gonna bother queuing stuff. Like, the game's over. We're good. Yeah, that was pretty successful. Again, a first look at the mechanics that we're going to be playing with over the next few games, and very straightforward. I didn't try to get too clever with it. Next time, the next episode's going to be Monday. When you come back for that, I will have gotten clever with it. That's my hope, at least. If you have any ideas for, like, weird custom faction stuff, even if it's not necessarily super effective, because after we do another, like, trying to be most effective, I want to try a couple of custom factions that are just very strange. So leave that stuff in the comments below. And, I guess we're probably just going to get the normal... We'll click this just to be sure, but we're probably just going to get the normal Horatio cinematic here. I would imagine. I can't imagine that there's one for custom factions. Mostly I'm curious here whether we're going to get one at all. Yeah, okay, we do. Science output. Yeah, look at that. We were ahead for a while there. Anyway, that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, come back on Monday. More custom faction shenanigans. And we'll see you then.